Who are we worshiping if our ancestors have reincarnated? The Buddha revealed a truth that leads to enlightenment for those who listen with an open heart. One day, a disciple asked the Buddha a thought-provoking question. If our ancestors have already reincarnated, then whom are we truly worshiping each year during ancestral rituals? This seemingly simple question touches on the profound mystery of reincarnation at Jetavana Monastery in Sravasti. While the Buddha was teaching, a disciple named Alex stood up, bowed deeply, and said, "Dear Buddha, my family has been worshiping our ancestors for generations. Each year, we set up altars and make offerings. But according to Buddhist teachings, people are reborn after death. So who exactly are we worshiping every year?" Upon hearing this, the other disciples fell into deep contemplation. Some murmured, "Indeed, if the ancestors are reborn, whom are we actually honoring?" The Buddha smiled and replied, "Alex, your question is very meaningful. When you perform ancestral rites, what is in your heart?" Alex responded, "I think of the kindness and virtue of my ancestors and hope their spirits in heaven will bless us." The Buddha nodded and asked, "Where do you believe your ancestors are now?" Alex hesitated and said, "According to the Dharma, they should have been reincarnated. But during rituals, I feel as if their spirits are watching over us from heaven." An elderly monk interjected, "When I was young, I was told that a person's soul splits into three after death. One part stays at the grave, one part at the ancestral tablet, and one part ascends to heaven. Is that true?" The Buddha replied, "That is what people often say. But let me ask you, if a soul truly splits into three, which part goes on to reincarnate?" Everyone looked at each other, unable to answer. The Buddha continued, "Tell me, when someone is reborn as a new person, do they remember their past lives?" Alex shook his head, "Most likely not." Then the Buddha asked, "Would they be aware of the offerings made to them by their descendants?" Alex grew more confused. If they are reincarnated and cannot remember their past lives, then would they even know that we are worshiping them? He added, "Dear Buddha, if that is so, is ancestor worship meaningless?" The Buddha replied, "Do not be quick to conclude. Let me share a story with you." The Buddha told of a man named Sansi. After his father's death, Sansi faithfully made offerings every day. One night, he dreamed of his father, who looked ragged and weak. Shocked, Sansi asked, "Father, I offer food to you daily. Why are you suffering?" His father replied, "I have been reborn as an ox, plowing fields daily. I'm hungry and thirsty. I can't enjoy the offerings you give." The next day, Sansi sought confirmation from a local monk, who told him the dream was true. His father had been reborn as an ox for the Wang family in the east of the city. When Sansi visited, the old ox shed tears upon seeing him. Alex asked, "Dear Buddha, does that mean our ancestor worship is pointless?" The Buddha answered, "Not at all. Worship has deep meaning, but not in the way you might think." Everyone listened intently. The Buddha asked, "When you worship your ancestors, what do you feel?" One said, "I feel grateful for their care and upbringing." Another said, "I remember their teachings and try to live virtuously." A third said, "Looking at the memorial tablet, I'm reminded to bring honor to their name." The Buddha nodded. "All of you are right. The true meaning of ancestral worship lies not in the offerings themselves, but in the heart behind them." Venerable Ananda added, "I remember once a layperson asked, if the deceased are reborn, are offerings wasted? What did the Buddha say then?" The Buddha responded, "Even if the deceased cannot receive the offerings, the devotion shown becomes merit. That merit, through the law of karma, can still benefit their new life." Alex asked, "So what are we really worshiping during these rites?" The Buddha said, "This touches on a profound principle. the workings of the three realms, and the six paths of rebirth. Let me explain. When a person dies, they are reborn in one of six realms depending on their karma: heaven, human, asura, animal, hungry ghost, or hell. Those with great merit rise to blissful realms, while those with heavy sins fall into suffering. But regardless of where they are reborn, one thing remains: the spiritual imprint. The disciples were puzzled. The Buddha explained, this spiritual imprint isn't memory. It's an energetic resonance born from deep past relationships. When descendants offer sincere devotion, their pure energy transcends time and space. It can reach the reborn beings they once loved. Ananda asked, even if they don't remember us, they can still receive this energy? The Buddha nodded, yes. Worshipping ancestors with sincerity not only benefits the living through the cultivation of virtue, but also radiates compassionate energy that helps ancestors transform their karma, no matter where they are. He paused, then said, in truth, ancestor worship is a spiritual practice. Remembering your roots with gratitude gives rise to compassion and virtue. This is the beginning of the Bodhi mind, the path to liberation. A disciple asked, so should we continue these practices? The Buddha smiled. It's not the offerings that matter most, it's the intention. Even a cup of clean water or a single incense stick offered with sincerity generates boundless merit. But grand feasts without heartfelt intent are mere form. Looking directly at Alex, the Buddha said, you must understand that ancestral worship is not about blindly seeking blessings, but about cultivating filial piety and spiritual connection. When done with mindfulness and gratitude, your ancestors, wherever they are, will resonate with your offering. This is a sacred practice, a bridge between the living and the departed. Many disciples wept in the stillness of the monastery. A cool breeze passed. A temple bell rang gently, as if the cosmos itself was moved by the Buddha's teaching. From that day on, the disciples deeply understood. The heart of worship lies in respect and virtue. Offerings are just the vehicle. The mind is the true source of merit. When the mind is pure, it can transform all realms. They continued to honor their ancestors, not just as a tradition, but as a spiritual path to cultivate inner virtue and repay the kindness of their forebears in line with the Buddha's wisdom. Note: this video is based on teachings from Buddhist scriptures and classical sutras. It aims to promote cultural understanding and spiritual reflection, not superstition. Viewers are encouraged to approach with clarity and mindfulness. If you found peace in this message, please like, subscribe to Alex T, and share this wisdom to spread positive energy.